Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Opportunity. Our scientific mission is straightforward. Examine the space around, monitor the surface of, and perhaps lead a team into the anomaly at Sector A98. Tune in to hear John Garlick run the adventure with Jay Duguay, John Kennedy, Justin Wiggy, myself, and a host of special guests joining us at the table. Galactic adventures begin just after this music.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gaming with Scott. I am here with Jay Duguay. I'm here with Joshua Jackson.
What up?
I am here with Justin Wigton.
Captain.
I am here with our storyteller, John Garlick, and I broadcast We Surrender.
You naughty little monkey.
Carry on.
What could happen?
Well, all right.
And we all turn around to you, Captain.
Captain. Your comm was on, sir.
All right. Well, they just opened fire.
Yeah, you can't surrender until it hits you, right?
You have
What does the fox say?
you have 150 seconds to react before
Okay.
they are opening fire at extreme long range.
Okay. So I sent the We Surrender out over General Comms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
O'Neill track a course to put the anomaly between us and the Romulans, or us and all of the ships. Our ship will fit behind it. Shut up now. To SAS, begin emergency protocols, beaming everyone from the Curie that we can.
Yes, Captain.
So we're going to drop shields. You're going to head us over there. You're going to get as many people off that ship. I want grandfather and grandson on my bridge as soon as possible.
All right.
See if you can get us the hell out of here, or if you've got anything up your sleeve. Start thinking now.
Okay.
Carry on.
First of all, Jackson, give me a
O'Neill.
for O'Neill.
Thank you.
Give me a control plus con roll to position your ship, which is like 2,000 feet long, if I remember. 2,000 meters.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
I got the talent. Push the limits, +1 to con, and astronavigation and helm control. So that's a
That's what she
+3.
said.
Astronavigation. We'll call it helm control. Is
All right,
appropriate.
so that'd be a
So roll
under 16.
and Wiggy roll for the ship.
4, which would be 2 successes.
6.
Okay. All right. So you have squarely positioned the ship. It is almost entirely covered by the mile-wide bubble, which is currently glowing a cheery orange-green, ripply pattern. And you are firmly covered behind it.
Gotcha. Captain, are we intending to engage in interstellar and interdimensional fighting within the wormhole?
Not if I can avoid it. Plot us a course out of here.
Oh, I've got 3. You just tell me.
Anyone will do.
Tell me when.
All right.
Well, on the Z-axis, ready to go.
Okay. The energy weapons that they fired intersect through phasers and disruptors, proton torpedoes and whatnot, all fly through the area that you guys were just in. They are still closing. You see that that 2 of the Klingon ships have stopped advancing and are priming their warp drive they appear to be plotting a course past you to appear on the opposite side.
They're flanking us.
Okay.
At this point, you do not get another hail from the Romulans.
Okay.
Fleet Commander Nadast has not responded to your surrender.
All right. What is the...
You get a kind of a tingle that thinks he can just take whatever he wants at this point, and your surrender is irrelevant.
Okay.
That is the distinct psychic impression you get.
Alrighty.
Captain, what do we do?
Can we remotely set the impulse on the Curie to fly towards them and set the self-destruct on a timer for 10 minutes?
I don't think it's going to take that long to get to him, but I know where
It
you're
won't,
going.
but they'll board it.
Ooh.
That is very... Okay, you get a comm from Captain Chan.
Captain?
It is, it says, we've evacuated most of our people at this point. We still have our secondary self-destruct system. Will not see the ship fall into their hands.
Yeah. Captain, suggestion?
Yes.
Warp 9 towards the flagship, then detonate for that for the Curie.
They don't have warp.
Ah, that's true. Yep, full impulse then. Yeah. Never mind.
Or they may not even board, and they may still think that people are on it trying to get away and destroy it themselves.
Says if you want to pull the if you want to do the Captain Kirk versus Commander Torg maneuver, you're going to need me to stay on board. I'm willing to do that.
I don't think we'll need that.
He came up for air.
Interstellar elephants. Yeah.
My thought was, are there more stars above us or below us?
Below.
Okay, my thought...
Just because it's the major center of gravity, it arbitrarily orients that
Right.
way.
So my thought was to send the Curie straight Z up, while the Opportunity goes straight Z down, and at the very least, they're going to have to split their forces to chase both of us.
Well, the Curie doesn't have warp, so
Full impulse.
It is. It would be trivial for them to go to like warp 0.5 and catch up with it, though.
Sure.
So at this point,
So are you suggesting...
if you want us to let them board and then self-destruct, that's an option. But you guys need to get out.
Can we self-destruct you remotely?
Not in such a way that they would agree to board us first. Their personnel are very limited.
What's his mental state?
His mental state is
I'm gonna die.
his mental state is concentrating on the greater good.
Can
That
we-
they have he knows that they have very limited forces. There are only 6 Romulan ships. They must be somehow crewing or controlling a great number of other ships. They can't all be operating remotely while the Klingons and humans are prisoners. So that would seriously impede them somehow. Or at least so he hopes.
Then, Captain, I will make a note that you should receive a commendation.
Thank you, sir.
You will buy us time.
We fully intend to. He says, "Well, time to put my time." He says, "Time to put my game face on."
Your flipper where your mouth is?
Yes, it's time to pony up the krill.
and how many people are staying?
He says, "We have a
Skeleton crew.
we have a small security detail that will make it look reasonable. That we don't intend to immediately self-destruct."
Send me that list of names.
All right, yep. Done.
Our grandfather and grandson on our ship on the Opportunity.
Yes,
Okay.
they are.
Is half Vulcan dude staying on the Curie?
Nope, he's already
No,
on board.
Zelek's on it. No, you know Zelek's over here.
You're not rid of him that easy. All right.
We beam him back over.
We have a gift for you. Boo.
Rage.
All right. You
Couldn't
see
we
that.
just put the
okay,
box
at this
over
point,
there?
you
For
see
the
that
greater
he,
good.
the Klingons, the two Klingon cruisers, flip, are now on the opposite side of the danger area.
Danger zone.
Come out of warp and have reoriented towards you.
And we're going straight down.
All right.
And we're cross-country race.
Oh, yeah.
With
You
Aristotle.
have successfully vacuumed up all of the
Escape pods.
escape pods with your tractor beam. You've had a couple of minutes.
O'Neill, maximum warp.
All right, Captain. Straight Z-axis.
All right.
Oh, crap.
Hold on to your butts.
All right. You guys, the last thing you hear from Captain Achan is, he says, prepare to repel borders.
I want a full sensor lock on the Curie.
Oh, okay.
I want to drop a Class 4 probe to transmit me as much audio, visual, and
by subspace.
I want it recorded and sent to scumbags.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm going to just say, all right, let me put it this way. If
You thought we were going to fade to black. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely not. I am going to say roll a die of fate. Have one of you have the captain roll for this.
Ugh.
Your plan is, was to lure a bunch of guys on board. Their plan is to prevent them from blowing up their ship and take it for their own. If
All
you
right.
get
Put a photon torpedo on the probe and launch it towards the Curie.
if you want to, you roll high. It's more likely to be go your way. If you roll low, it goes their way.
Oh, can I get one of those D20 dice? No.
One of these. Oh, that looks like a.
This has been a perfect die for me to roll. I rolled a 2 because we're
Stop
rolling
rolling
low.
it.
We're rolling low today. Low is success. This die has been trained.
Okay.
It was tampered with.
It's loaded.
It was laying on like between the 2 and the 20, and I gave it a kick. The thing. It was a 2.
All
This
right.
is a good die. It
Gave
knows.
it a how's your father?
Yep.
The last thing you hear before the probe is phasered in half
Yeah.
is sounds of battle on the Curie.
Okay.
They're broadcasting,
Pew, pew.
yeah, there's
Event
explosions.
horizon.
It's like, engage the self-destruct, engage the self-destruct.
All right.
It's not sure what happens next.
All right. And then we have to warp away,
You
so we don't know if it went.
All right. You are okay. So you guys are warp. You guys are at speed. Give me an astronavigation roll because this is entirely unknown space. Roll 2 dice for me, please.
Oh, 11 and 8.
O'Neill drives us through a star. Oh, good.
All right, and
Here's a nice star.
Wiggy, roll for the ship, please.
3.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Scan for any pursuers.
This dice rolls really low. This one rolls really high.
It seems that they. Let's see. Looks like some of the. It looks like 2 of the larger Klingon vessels have broken off and are pursuing you.
2 Klingon cruisers approaching us, sir.
Drop the hammer. Leave them behind us.
Okay.
All right. You do considerably overpower them in terms of engines.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to you put the pedal to the metal, as it were, and leave them in the dust. But you are all of a sudden very deep into an unknown starfield.
Elbow deep. Yep.
All of these stars are late sequence, relatively old. That means that a lot of them are red. Some of them are just stellar remnants. There are some nebulas, a lot of interstellar gas. It's very easy to evade them.
Okay. Start charting interstellar star systems as we go.
How many probes do we have? Do we have enough to shoot them out and
Yeah.
chart?
Well, I mean, it's, you can chart visually at this point.
Yeah, not a warp 10, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But
9.8.
you're fairly confident that they are.
The
That you've-
O'Neill system?
Yes. You're fairly confident that you've left them in the dust.
Okay.
After a good hour at 9 point a lot.
I like 9 point a lot. Captain, I believe they are no longer pursuing us. We have overtaken them.
Excellent. Drops out of warp. Get us some long-range scans. Let's see if we can find the Fahrenheit. We had the Vigilant back there.
Mm-hmm. Scanning for any Federation signals, life signs, any of that besides ours.
All right. You begin scanning and you are picking up no signs of technology or working warp fields, any kind of signals except what you just left behind you.
Yeah.
This area seems to be almost entirely deserted by, or at least uninhabited by, technology like yours, except give me a roll. This is going to be, I'm going to call it control plus science, I'm going to say.
Okay.
And Wiggy, you can roll for the ship.
14.
7.
Okay. All right. You do pick up something nearby. It looks like very unusual cloud around one of these red giants.
Gotcha.
A very old star system, very late phase star that has stopped burning its original hydrogen and is now well into its iron phase.
Gotcha. Captain, long distance scans show we are in the dark of space. I have one signal of an anomaly around a red star, a cloud with different scientific anomalies that we can pursue. Everything else, there's nothing.
Launch a Class 5 probe to check out the signal, the source of the anomaly. I am then going to put in a 1/4 by 1/4 by 1/4 sphere pattern to take us around where the anomaly would be. In a way of we go near. It's a way to probe 360 degrees around that without coming back in where we were. I'll send you that pattern. We want to drop Class 4 probes at each of these vertices when we change course.
4 or 5? You said 5.
Class 5 for this anomaly, and then 4s for the rest. I want to chart 360 degrees around the anomaly at approximately 100 AU. It'll take us a little while, but we'll have a better understanding of what's within the first 100 astronomical units in any direction.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. After this frantic few hours, falling in around fairly typical star is putting your people to busy work, essentially, that puts their mind off the death and destruction that they've just witnessed.
Yeah.
Over the course of the next 90 to 100 minutes, you guys begin to get an idea of what the deal is with this star system.
Okay.
It is not an actual gas cloud. These objects that are floating around the star appear to be artificial.
Artificial.
They are roughly 1,000 miles wide. Each one is a ring, roughly torus-shaped ring, like a donut.
Like Ringworld-esque.
but they're small.
Right.
But it appears that there is some kind of vortex at the top of the star. It's arbitrarily, we'll call it its North Pole,
Right.
where it is siphoning off stellar matter, and it is accreting it into one of these shapes. The shape that is currently growing at the top of the star is still glowing. It's very hot, but the entire system, what would be a system, is there are no planets, is littered with thousands upon thousands of these enormous structures.
Are they all spherical, or are they different shapes and sizes?
They are all rings. They are all roughly donut shaped.
Okay.
About 1,000 miles wide, with a 900-mile gap in the middle.
Right.
They are made of an unusual material, but this is very obviously some kind of artificial phenomenon. It's unlike anything that's been seen before.
All right. And that's what the probe tells us?
Yeah,
Something smoking that star.
Yep.
that it is even with this massive effort that has been put into draining this star of its material. This has been going for a very long time.
Any Klingon, Romulan, or Federation signals or that we can tell from that system?
You get a... yes, you do find there... One of your probes finds another Class 4 probe. It is Federation. It looks like one from the Fahrenheit. This area has been... This is an unusual enough site that it has apparently been studied by them.
Well, get a
Oh.
message to the Fahrenheit.
Oh, no, it looks like
Can
it's
we-
been left here.
Oh, it's been okay. Because I was going to say,
It's a
jump
trace.
our probe to their probe to wherever it's
Oh,
sending.
no. It looks like it's been
send
there
it
a
back
while.
to them. Come on now, get on it. Do some magic. Do something. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Damn it, Wiggy.
Damn.
Okay,
I'm not a magic captain.
yeah, you are. All right, where are we heading? Where are we going next? What are we doing, O'Neill?
But
What are your orders,
it
sir?
looks like this cloud of, this enormous swarm of objects fills a good, large area. They're more or less in an orbit around the star. Some of they sort of get pushed out so they don't immediately fall back in and get sucked in.
Sir, do you want to examine one of these rings?
Yeah, I think I do.
Are there any signals coming out of the rings?
Good question.
None that you can detect.
Any life signs within the rings?
None that are identifiable. They are of.
So yes,
So
we just
yes,
can't
no.
identify.
It is hard to. It is hard to tell.
Okay.
They appear to be incredibly hard, with a trace element sheath around them.
Castorium.
Covered in castorium, it is quite delicious.
Captain.
Castorium shielding is the best shielding.
Looking around, you do see.
Beaveranus. Captain, should we open a channel to see if anyone will respond to us?
No, I don't want to give away our position.
Okay.
Okay.
You can active scan the area you'd like.
Oh, I've been doing that.
Should we scan to see if we can see anything similar in a
Galaxy far, far away.
galaxy far, far away?
They're looking at the nearby stars based on their shimmer. You're not getting any impressions of a similar cloud around them. This looks unique in this system. This whole system is littered with them. It looks like some of them actually have acquired an atmosphere over time.
They're founder farts.
Get out of here.
Oh, I was waiting for some sort of Halo reference. I was going to be like, oh no.
Farts from the founders.
Any
Psychic.
yeah,
impressions?
any psychic impressions from
Yeah.
this swarm of donuts?
There's life out there.
There's life out there. Scan for O'Neill. Scan for life signs.
Scanning.
Okay. You around you were looking at the hard metal ones that are closest to the star that
Yeah.
are most recently produced.
Mm-hmm.
As you get further away, you see that some of these actually have an atmosphere that stretches between them. Some of them are clustered together, kind of like a planet almost, where this tangle of rings has been united by gravity into a clump, and they are kind of like a little weirdly shaped planet. And there you can see there's greenery on these
Rings?
rings. There is greenery and even some open water.
Captain, it seems that the rings that are further away from the star have developed their own atmosphere. Some of them are sharing an atmosphere in between them, and there is at least vegetation on some of them.
Okay. Did you find life?
Right now, the only thing I am scanning for, what I am scanning and finding, are vegetation and water. So I will continue to scan.
Okay.
It's definitely live.
I would venture to say that there is some form of life on some of these rings.
Excellent. Okay. No signals, no.
Nothing. All silent.
Alrighty. To Sass, what are your thoughts?
It would be very difficult to trigger a catastrophic cascade of tectonic explosions.
True, but I have botany and geology also.
Yes.
You have several ways of blowing these
The
planets up.
geologist.
Oh. So,
So, looking at these, it's quite likely that this has been going on for millions of years, if not longer. In which case, there could be all kinds of different stuff out there, just in this system.
Varangi.
and this is on artificial rings.
Yeah, on artificial rings.
So artificial rings have developed atmosphere and vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Over a tremendously long amount of time. Like they've sort of clustered into more or less,
So, Captain, this is well-established vegetation as well. So this has been here quite some time. There could be anything in there.
No human life signs, no Romulan, no Klingon, no crash ships in there? Okay. Just checking. Anything that could be a food supply?
Vegetation.
Oh, but no animal. Okay.
Nothing
There,
yet.
you're getting animal life.
I lied.
or
There's a
something.
ton of animals, buffalo, as they roam everywhere.
It's hard to tell.
Sea otters.
Space buffalo running over ocean otters because they're rapists.
It could be the.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Sea
had a
otters.
conversation about sea otters earlier. It was very sad.
no
but
seals.
yeah.
They got it.
Refer to our top 5 favorite animals.
It was
They are on the
very
top of the food
disappointing.
chain.
Yeah, stuff got really too real for me.
real in that episode.
Okay, so anyway,
Especially the Pegasus.
But yeah, if it's not animal life, then the plants are moving, which is pretty much the same thing.
The plants are moving.
So is it a floating rainforest?
Seems like a developing
More or
M-class
less.
planet, sir.
Oh, okay, good.
It's a floating rainforest.
The atmosphere on some of the rings is nitrogen, oxygen. In some other areas, it's like another planet where it's methane and ammonia and whatnot.
Okay.
But there are planets in the Goldilocks zone made
Sure.
of
Sure.
these clumps.
Nice. All right.
What are your orders, sir?
We're going to leave one of our Class 4 probes here to continue to monitor and take readings and send them to us when we when we get around to it. But I want to start charting the rest of the. First, I want to see if there's any other. I want to know. I'm kind of curious as to why the rings are being made from the star stuff, but we could probably figure that out after we find the Fahrenheit.
Maybe.
So what I want to do is lay in that search pattern and
Track where the probe came from.
see if we can find the Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Is there an obvious trajectory of the probe?
It was more or less positioned out here near where you guys were planting your probes.
Yeah. Well,
So
tractor beam, bring it on board. Start. No.
I don't know that I don't know we'd be able to gain much from it.
it's
I mean,
also
other than its sensor readings, that it's been how long it's been left here, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, can I access the probe data that's there, or can one of the science officers and say, well, it's been
Sure.
here 29 days or whatever?
yeah. It's let's see. It was it's been a good couple months since the Fahrenheit went through, if I remember. So yeah, you see that it's been here about let's see, about 25 days. So not too long. It is still charged. It is a little unusual that they would just leave it, but looking at it, you see, give me, actually, Wiggy, give me an insight plus security roll. I believe these are both pretty high for your guy.
6 and 10.
Looking at it, you're like, okay. You begin to look at its power signature. This has a photon torpedo built into it. This is a trap left behind for your enemies.
Captain, there's a photon torpedo inside of that probe.
So we don't want to bring it on board.
Nope.
Probably not. It looks to be, I would guess it's a trap for kind of like what we just did.
Okay.
So we play from the same rule book. so
Following protocol, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
we all go to the same academy. So
All right. Okay. Then,
can I remotely tap into the probe
Yeah.
just
yeah,
to
it is
grab
still-
the info out of it?
Yeah, sure. You're able to access it with Starfleet codes without any trouble. It gives you a whole bunch of recordings of, astrometric data of this system, but they didn't leave anything on it that was too incriminating about where they were going for obvious reasons.
has the probe been visited, or have there been any Klingon or Romulan patrols through this area in the last 25 days?
Negative.
Yeah, I would doubt it, seeing as it's still here.
Well, but I mean, it could have been, oh, yeah, there were 2 warp signatures that went by, 8 days ago, but they didn't get within range to know there was a probe here.
Are there any residual warp signatures in the area?
No.
No.
Okay. So what do you guys think this is with the rings?
No idea.
Followed by the question, what do you guys think this is with the probe, other than it's a trap?
It's a biodome.
Trap from the Fahrenheit, but maybe they fell into a trap in exploring one of these budding planets. I don't know.
Would anything from the makeup of the rings interrupt us being able to find like human life or a ship?
It's possible. They are kind of weirdly spaced out. There are several of these that are just sort of floating around like asteroids.
So could there potentially be one where the Fahrenheit is hiding within it, watching the probe?
This could be a very easy place to hide.
Or if they could have crashed. Who knows? We won't know unless we go explore.
Is the probe oriented between where the anomaly would be and the ring field?
It is located far enough away from the ring field. It's sort of roughly below the ecliptic of this system, around the south pole of this star. So it would be easy to find.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is anybody coming from the anomaly would trip over this probe before they got to the ring field, right?
You did.
I did. Exactly. All right. Let's lay in a pattern to explore the ring field before we leave this. Leave their probe. We can scoop ours up since we're going to spend a little bit of time here, and we'll leave theirs intact. It may be that Tassas has got it right, that if the doorbell goes, if the little firecracker goes off, we know we're going to have company. Let's O'Neill lay in a course to sweep this sector in the ring world. We'll have Tassas capture everything she can from science standpoint, stellar cartography, etc. Let's map this sucker and make sure that we don't find the Fahrenheit here before we go gallivanting around the rest of the system.
Understood. Okay, I'll start my scans.
All right. The first thing that you see is that these are very old on the outside of the system, very much younger on the inside, these rings that are being produced. The ones that are on the outside, some of them have cracked into pieces. They've been scored by micrometeorites or just asteroids and space debris hitting them. They further in where there is temperature that is more comfortable for the formation of water. It looks like life has possibly developed naturally on some of these surfaces. Science. Deeper into the cloud, it looks like these have a very much more sort of sharply defined shape. Like they have notches on them, squared out pieces that this looks almost like a component to something larger.
The ones that have cracked out in the outer area, does it look like the interior of the ring? Like if you cracked the donut in half and you looked at the end that was in it, are they compartmentalized? Is it meant for living quarters?
It has a honeycomb-like structure inside where there are many tiny compartments.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
But, of course...
What do you mean by tiny?
Well, okay, like anywhere from football field size to, person size.
So it could be studio apartment. It could be football arena.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not all uniform, but they are roughly hexagonal because that's a naturally occurring shape when bubbles of something push against each other.
Space. When space bees make their giant donuts of doom from star stuff. I'm with you. I got you.
Are there space bees?
Space bees.
Totally could be space bees.
Could be.
The other thing you see is that around as you look closer at the star, there are glowing lights around the spot on the north pole of the star where the plasma energy is shooting up and forming the most recent ring.
Okay.
It's like 3 big globes of greenish light around this reddish star. It was hard to see at first because it's a star. It's pretty bright.
Sure.
But it's obviously something just hanging out there, sucking out the stellar mass to make these.
I think we should send that probe back out towards that point.
Towards the manufacturing point? Mm-hmm. We could go visit.
Or we could go visit. It's your call, Captain.
Well, I don't want to get shot at anymore today, so I think a probe would be...
Or shuttlecraft.
Okay, or could
Did you just volunteer?
Always.
Alrighty.
I'll go with them.
We should put most of our senior staff. We should put all the PCs in one boat. So, yeah. So we'll send Tassas with you.
Understood.
Okay. This sounds like a great idea.
A great idea. A great idea, you guys.
Okay. Go find everything you can out about that donut maker.
All right.
And how the donut maker links the donuts together and how the donut becomes a giant beehive of doom. I mean, space beehive of doom. I'm sorry.
I'll see what I can do, Captain.
Or actually, I'll stay here. That way I can fly the ship while he's gone.
If you're not going, then you're going to be playing a different dude.
That's fine.
So-
I'll fly the ship while he's... My character will fly the ship while he's
Yeah.
gone.
Nice.
So we're going to bring back Erst Stalitz,
Oh, no.
Stiglitz.
your cowardly Vulcan. Remember him?
Ernst Stalitz. Yeah.
Yes.
Ernst?
Stalitz.
Yep. Oh, no. The Vulcan.
Or if you want to be a new guy. I don't
No, I'm in.
All right. So everybody keeps playing. You just
This was
swap out.
the Vulcan who had the who went in
Crisis
and
of
get the head
confidence.
and had the crisis of faith. You need to walk
oh,
him
yeah,
through
yeah.
it.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, she showed good leadership.
She did. She was magnificent.
Thank you.
We're all gonna die.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Well, they're going to die. We're still on the ship.
Yeah.
So...
Hey, if everybody wants to be red shirts, you have that option.
All right, O'Neill, you're gonna lead this away mission and come back with all your limbs, right?
I will always do my best for that endeavor, Captain. Yes.
He's got one left.
All righty. Yes.
And I'm playing Vin McDiesel. Is that what?
If you if you want, we could roll your race randomly.
Sure.
And okay, so grab a d20.
Boring tunnel monster. Nat 20.
Nat 20. That's another Vulcan.
Nice.
Horatio.
It's not Vulcan name.
It is now.
Okay,
It could be a nickname.
Why are you pigeonholing me?
O'Neill,
Yes, sir.
you roll down to the shuttle. There's already someone sitting, a pointy-eared someone sitting in the
Maybe
shuttle
maybe
pilot
I'm half
seat.
Human.
Okay.
It's Horatio.
So, and I have no idea who this individual is.
Oh, he's you know him from the let's see. He's the science division, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
remember, yeah.
I'm blue shirt.
Wait, wasn't it the three of us who went and...
He said,
Yeah, he's being included as
yeah, you, myself, and Mr.
Mr.
Blue,
Stalitz.
Blue, whatever.
Stalitz,
Oh, okay. So,
you were going on this mission. I thought it would be good for me to log some shuttle hours in this new sector of space.
This
So,
isn't
do you
exactly a
wanna be
training
another
mission.
Vulcan, or do you want to reroll? I don't care.
No, I'll be the Vulcan.
Yeah, you'll be another.
Yeah.
Vulcan.
I'll be the
wait. So there's
engineer
three
or the
Vulcans
security
now?
guy or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Roll a. Do you have a d6 over there? If not, I've got a.
Here, I'll just use this one right here.
Well, aren't we
Three.
an exciting bunch for you, O'Neill?
Yeah, I just look at the interloper and say, this isn't exactly a training mission.
Absolutely, Commander Tassas. I heard she was going out on this mission, and I definitely wanted to be there for support.
All right, your guy's an engineer.
Do we
Just in
need this
case.
individual
I
on
need
this?
some of that. So
I believe he
the way this is
will
going to work,
benefit us.
the way this is going to work, Wiggy,
Okay.
is you keep that same list of stats. Pick your. You're going to put one of the fours into engineering on your new guy. I'll give him a right and iron.
Nice.
Put a 4 in engineering.
Put a 4 in engineering, and pick another stat. We'll call it security, just in case
From
these
medicine.
or
Purdy.
yeah, or medicine. Whichever you want to do. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll do medicine.
And the rest of them you
Maybe I
can
got to
just
reattach a limb.
yeah. And the rest of them your emergency medical training is up to snuff. And the rest of them just leave blank until it's time to assign them to something that's useful on the spot.
Sure.
And your name is, we're going to call you
Nerf
Ensign
herder.
Natak.
Nutek. Ensign.
It is an honor to fly under you. Oh, no.
Please prepare for takeoff.
All right, the
I even have the Focus shuttle pilot. Look at that.
I don't trust
I didn't even want to be here.
I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
And suddenly the shuttle pilot is commanding, the con officer is commanding instead of shuttling.
All right.
Everybody wants the captain's chair.
As you you pull through the force field in the Opportunities shuttle bay, start heading out towards this enormous red sun. It sort of, because it's the center of gravity, it sort of orients as this enormous plane of fire below you. Can't even see its curvature from where you are relative to it.
Nice.
Up above, you can see the faint glitter of all of these rings in the hellish red light from its primary. Some of them are glittering blue or yellow high up above you from their weird atmosphere that they've acquired. But you're so close to the star's corona that it blocks out all of the stars around you, none of which were terribly bright anyway. All of these stars are old and dying.
Lieutenant Commander, your orders?
To be in a relatively safe radius from that, whatever it is, and start scanning, taking readings to figure out what exactly is making these rings, and if it's friend, foe, where it originates.
Wait a second. Is he in charge of this mission?
It could be you, ma'am. I'm not sure. Who is in command again?
It would be Commander Tassas.
Oh, your orders then, Commander.
He did direct the question to me, though, Commander.
I know.
Okay.
What he said is correct.
Thank you.
I was just verifying.
Thank you, Commander.
You're there to make sure the ship doesn't blow up.
I wasn't supposed to be here.
Story of your life.
He's an ensign. He's scared.
What color is your
Legitimately.
shirt, Ensign?
Yellow.
Okay.
Your yellow shirt?
Yeah, yellow
I'm a
shirt.
blue shirt, yeah.
Blue
What happens
shirt,
when you mix
blue
them
shirt.
together? I actually don't know what color that would be.
Yellow
Green.
plus blue is green.
Green?
Let's go
There was an
green.
entire song used to sell Ziploc bags, if I recall correctly.
Who?
All right.
John.
Okie
That's
dokie.
so
I feel like you
obscure.
could have filled that one with something a little more important.
All right. Well, thank you, dear listeners, for allowing us to steal 30 seconds of your life that you'll never get back. They're making bleepy noises as they scan. You guys close in on this star, and you see, as you get closer, the readings you're getting are something like a tractor beam, except many times stronger.
I'm going to stop the shuttle.
Well, it's not
don't wanna
tractoring you.
Wait, I thought I was driving.
I'm going to stop the shuttle.
I thought I was
you
driving.
come-
Even if you are driving, I'm going to stop the shuttle.
You come to a full stop, and yeah, you're looking at closer at these three glowing spheres. You see that there is some kind of tractor effect that is what is responsible for drawing off the star's corona to create these enormous rings.
I believe this is a tractor effect that is pulling off mass from the star itself to create these rings.
So completely artificial, and curious who made it. Okay. Any other readings that we can get? Any other signatures? Anything that's recognizable to us?
Are these,
Looking
are
closer.
Are these rings the entities like kidneys? Is that what's going to happen?
You never know.
Cloud Man.
It's its stomach.
That's actually
it's-
not a.
It's all the rings are made out of the remnants of the ship.
Are we just in the interstellar body of this huge organism,
They're-
and this is an organelle?
They're poop.
They're founder farts.
The rings are poop.
Oh, I was going to say the rings are tripe, and when you link them all together, it's the... Never mind. Intestinal tract of the, whatever that is.
Chitlins. Stop it.
Yes. Space chitlins.
Oh God.
Space oink.
Tripe is what they call it.
One day, this series is going to end with John murdering all of us.
No. You do your thing.
No, no,
I'm not
no.
gonna
And
stop ya.
smearing blood on the walls.
But today is not that day.
He's not there yet.
You just said but. I thought you were going to make a but joke.
No.
Okay. You already did that.
But.
Awfully contrived, don't you think? What?
Caw.
Prove it.
Okay.
Anyways.
Now I'm at
So-
the killing.
So,
Now I'm going to kill you all.
so anyway, just trying to find any signals, any signatures, anything that we know of any race within our databases that this would originate from.
Absolutely nothing.
Is there any stamp
like
that says,
this.
like, made in China? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Looking at from where you are, though, you can see that there is sort of a greenish glow from one of these glowing white spheres.
Okay.
That is a different color than the rest.
Start scanning different colors. Schnozberries.
Scanning colors.
Scan the spectrum.
Don't say schnozberries because I'll tell you a story about schnozberries.
Don't want to hear any more stories out of you.
You
don't wanna-
you've horrified us.
You
for the
have
evening.
you've
You
used
don't
up
want-
your storytelling privilege.
You don't want me to ruin schnozberries for you.
You
No,
have.
no,
you
they're going
have
to find out
already
that they're
ruined.
that they
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
you've already ruined a number of things for us
You
this
ruined
evening.
you ruined like sea otters.
No, you
Playful,
ruined having
delightful
little
sea
tree frogs
otters.
as pets because
Yeah, that was ruined for me too.
I'm sure, but
Thank you
then
for
you shared it
spreading
with
that
us.
joy.
As to quote Maya Angelou, the mind wreaks afar upon others its own pain.
Yeah, exactly.
I
thought
don't
the
need
pudding
any more
story was going to be the
pain.
worst
I
thing
just-
out of that. No, it was
Just
not.
thought you might want to know what they're looking when they say the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
And then one summer,
Castorium.
we all had tree frogs. So,
So, Scott,
do you think I'm going to scan the green? Is there like breathable atmosphere inside the? Like, is the glow from the outside of a vessel or or is
yeah,
it?
it looks like it might. It looks like it has some kind of solid components inside of it.
Do you think we could dock in there?
It would take some fancy piloting.
Well, I have shuttle pilot on my.
Oh, hell no. I'm piloting. Screw
okay.
you.
I'm gonna start to like. I'm gonna bring up the coordinates for the path, and
You're
like,
going to talk about it first.
and slide them over to O'Neill's console, like nudge, nudge, wink, wink. What do you think, huh?
I'd like to make sure that if we went in, we'd be able to get out.
Oh, I'm not concerned about that at all.
yeah, you're just like, I don't want to commit unless
I'm
there's
sitting
gold
over
at the
here in
end of
the
that
corner
rainbow.
like, this seems like
All right.
a bad idea.
All right.
You
So-
might take some phasers.
Seems like a great idea.
I'll take
never
what
know.
Stiglitz passes over to me or whatever his name is.
Stalets.
That's exactly. Great movie, by the way. I'm looking at the report, and this is essentially showing that we could dock and we could go in.
Yeah, it looks like there is some kind of superstructure inside this enormous. It's almost moon size. This.
Death Star size.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
It's easily 1,000 miles across. It was like a little.
It's a self-replicating space station.
Is this where the Borg started?
Oh no.
Commander DeSass?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Readings are showing that this superstructure of some sort, whether we could dock and we could actually enter and explore further, that would be your pay grade. That is above my pay grade. So would you wish to explore further, to go dock, or would you like to just to continue to scan from afar?
Send word to the captain and see if he approves us going in.
Okay.
It would be worth mentioning.
Whoa.
You are outside of communication.
Well-
with the energy.
I'll try to boost it.
It would be worth mentioning that we do have 4 standard issue Federation spacesuits on board the shuttlecraft.
Listen here, shallots.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to
Stalets.
boost the signal.
Give me a reason plus science roll.
Are we all going to say his name wrong the whole
I
time?
want to
Assign
roll
those
for the
stats.
shuttlecraft.
Kind of like
What do you do?
I want to roll for the
Oh,
shuttlecraft.
yeah, sure, why not?
he's our hoggle.
Yes, 18. I got nothing. No,
said
just a
what?
horrible.
What?
Stiglitz from Inglourious
Yeah,
Basterds.
you're going to assign
Come now,
science
Hogwarts.
and Was it reason? Did I say?
Yeah, you said reason.
Reason and science
While those two
for your due.
goofballs over there.
You'll have to assign.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm ready to
10.
pounce.
Stiletsky over there
All
is
right.
getting angry.
So, what did you put on for those? Is it your
Yeah,
3?
you got to
your
put numbers
1?
in there.
8 reason, and then 2 for the.
No, okay. So that's 1 hit. You can launch a buoy, so if you blow up, he'll know. But you're not able.
If we die, here's our
unless
will
you
and
turned
testament.
back and took another good hour or so.
Turn
Also,
back,
you're
turn
within.
back time.
Also, you're within scanning range of these. If you can scan them, they can scan you.
Can we bounce? Can I bounce the signal off of the probe?
No, there's too much interference from the sun's coronosphere.
You know, every time you say
Your call, Commander Tassas.
It is
Would you
your
like
call.
me to launch a buoy so he knows if we
it
blow
keeps
up?
hitting the lime at the top and bouncing back into the drink.
yeah, that's terrible. I do not want to do anything with the buoy because that could be intercepted.
Not even a tiny buoy like a dram buoy.
Maybe.
A wee little dram.
Bramble
Lieutenant
jam.
O'Neill,
Yes.
what's your opinion here?
What more can we get from the scans? Anything more? Meaning, have we exhausted our opportunity from afar?
Your vessel's being scanned.
Uh,
There's sort of like a
Commander, we're being scanned.
little green glow that comes
Oh.
out of the machine. Bzz, 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 and then stops.
I believe we should take this opportunity and dock as quickly as possible.
I think we should hail them because they know we're here and try to start a dialogue.
Potentially force our way in if we needed to.
I do not agree with Lieutenant Stoglitz.
Stalets, sir.
Apologies. But they know we're here. We know they're here. I think we should try to open a dialogue.
Lieutenant
Come in.
O'Neill,
Yes.
hail them.
Hailing green thing.
The ensign starts silently crying when the when it starts getting scanned.
One of the Vulcans is having trouble controlling his emotions.
I reach
Ensign.
out. Yes?
Are you both ensigns?
Yeah.
Okay, not you, Stiggles.
Ensign.
I put my hand on Ensign.
Stolitz, you should know their names
Natek
before you
or
touch them.
Getting that
Natak.
That's all.
Remember your studies on Vulcan. They will help see you through this.
Look at him.
Roll
That is-
command plus. Let's see. Let's call it insight plus command.
Alrighty. My insight is an 8. I have not assigned command yet.
You can pick.
I have a 5, a 3, and a 3 already assigned.
You have a 2 and a 1.
All right, I'll pick a command of 2. Can I get a writing iron from somebody? A pencil.
Here.
Thank you. So
All this lingo.
8 and a 2 is a 10. And I rolled a natural 20.
You remember being savagely beaten by the other Vulcans.
Oh, God.
Sends you into a very upsetting episode of your life. You're having an issue.
Remember the training, what were they
You were
called? The little
denied
training
the
pits?
Yeah.
You failed the culinar.
So,
I moved to the other side of the ship from
so
him.
what does this ensign begin doing? Or what is...
He seems to be having an episode.
A
But-
conniption. It's a Vulcan.
But yeah, being surrounded by Vulcans, who would have thought?
Ensign, are you all right? No, I'm looking dead at you.
Are you looking at me?
You seem to be having an episode.
No, he's the one freaking out.
I'm the one
I
freaking
thought you
out.
were.
I'm
No,
the
I
one
put on.
freaking
I
out.
like put my hand on his shoulder and try to be like, "Remember your training back at the colonoscopy camp or whatever, wherever the
Colonoscopy camp.
whatever Vulcans do over the summer." And he like lost it, right?
Yeah. Ensign, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Stalitz, why don't you mind meld him
No!
into
No!
calming,
No!
soothing
You're
thoughts?
all going to.
Beaches.
Stalitz,
Hey, what's happening with our
Stop
Haley?
touching people.
All right.
I'm fine.
Somebody give him a
Don't worry
Warriors
about
original.
So I hailed them. Just
We Vulcans
Okay.
love those.
Federation starship, blah
Lingua
blah.
code. You get snow back. It is
Jon Snow?
no. It is a series of ones and zeros that doesn't. It's a series of
They'll run it through the translator, just straight binary,
it's
anything.
pure math.
Yeah, which is universal language, and try to use it to
Why
formulate
didn't-
anything.
Why didn't we bring like Alpha Bravo or Charlie with us?
Can I run it through any of the shuttlecraft systems?
You get
try.
the impression that you begin to get the impression that it's giving you coordinates on a sphere.
All right. Commander, we are getting coordinates back from structure. They are coordinates. I believe they're telling us to go to or land at these coordinates.
It's and you see it sort of resolves on the screen. It's like your a position that roughly equates to you. A position
It's like, you big dumb idiot. Here's a white picture. You're the little spaceship. Here's an X. Figure it out. Not that intelligent. You don't figure this out, we'll just blow you out of the sky.
yeah.
Might be
There's a
easier.
little X, like X equals
a
1.
timer.
There's an arrow all in ones. You want to figure it out? We good here?
They're
No.
sending you an ASCII picture.
Yeah, just like, you can't figure this out. You're not intelligent life, and we don't care. All right.
It's Kirby dance.
Can we scan that specific set of coordinates, or is it too far?
Scan the coordinates. What is it?
It is roughly around the equator of this enormous spherical object.
I think it's landing coordinates, Commander. They could open fire already. Yeah, it might be just an act of goodwill to make first contact.
So are we landing? Are we docking?
That is your.
How do you feel about that? Are you comfortable with that?
Docking in an unfamiliar territory, planet, species to have a conversation in ways we don't think we know how to do. I've had worse, Cap or Commander.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying yeah.
Ensigns, how do you feel? Are you prepared? Are you good over there?
It's rational to go or leave.
Yeah.
Whichever we want to do.
Can I decipher? Can I decipher the binary and send back essentially we come in peace, something along those lines?
Do you know how to say that in math?
I can roll and try to fudge it.
Just use a
Well,
Can I do it?
Using what they sent us.
use
is there
a
any way?
colon and a parenthesis.
If I see him start to like, hey, I can math this up, I'm just gonna slap his hand. I'm just gonna like.
Probably not a
Okay,
You
all
don't
right.
have, you
Good
don't
idea.
have the
As
training.
an
to do
ensign.
that.
Give me a. All right.
Ensign, that is assault on a senior officer. Do that
All right.
again, I'll put you in the
Wiggy,
brig.
roll a d20. Tell me what you get.
13.
Unlucky 13. All right. When you slap his hand, his wrist, his hand goes, and his wrist sort of pops open. He has
What?
a robot arm. It was on his left side.
Oh,
You
like
just
You
messed with his prosthetics.
You struck a senior officer and you broke him.
Ensign,
I'm security. I'm going to have to arrest him and then fix your arm.
I'll put you in the brig for a
When did
week
we-
if you do that again.
Oh,
When did we get the
your-
cowardly lion?
Your arm isn't. He just accidentally tapped the, a spot that.
yeah,
the lube
I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'm calling this the Oz maneuver because I have the cowardly lion, the scarecrow, and the Tin Man over here.
no heart.
And we're on our way to Oz right now. That's where we're going.
But anyway, Ensign, don't touch anybody unless you want to be in the brig when we return. And damn it, I'll be so pissed. We will return. Just telling you.
To answer your inquiry, I believe that any of the endeavors in which you captain us will be successful. We should dock.
Just kiss the ass. Mwah.
Kiss the Tissass.
Yeah, Commander, if we
Which,
if we have to lose dead weight, I have a volunteer just in case.
The
But
scarecrow or the lion? Which one, Tin Man?
the scarecrow.
which
But,
rule of acquisition is that?
It's up there.
but
It's
no.
in the 3 digits.
Hey, is there any way through the shuttlecraft system to send back a message using what they sent us saying anything?
You could
Do I know binary? No.
you could send. Give me a reason plus science roll, Mr. Little round-eared peanut-brained human.
You're sitting in a
Have a
ship full of
9.
Vulcans. You couldn't ask any of us.
Oh, roll 2 dice, please. 2
Rolled a
dice.
6, so there's 1
All right.
and a 2.
Okay.
So I got 3
So you got
successes?
No,
some
do you have if you have an applicable specialty?
Oh, I do not have a specialty.
Actually, I'm going to say your astrometric specialty is going to apply. You send back a message saying location that they specified equals 1.
What?
Okay.
And that you receive the message.
Okay.
You zoom in. You enter you pass through a very powerful force field that sort of thins in front of you. That was what was more or less reflecting all of this light. And you see that inside it is incredibly bright, but there is a crystalline structure of green and white pieces that takes up the most of this this structure. It is roughly flat, and there are levels in the center that are in a roughly triangular structure going up and down. So it's imagine sort of a spindle or a top inside of this spherical round globe. And you can see as you approach, there is a roughly football field sized hexagon made of green crystal, where that would correspond to your landing spot.
All right. Commander, I'll put us down right there. The coordinates lead to that green plane.
All right, take us in.
All right. Taking us in.
This inside, it is uncomfortably hot for a human or Vulcan. Just below the boiling point of water. It is also incredibly bright. You would need to have your visors down in order to be able to see.
Okay.
Gentlemen, suit
Although
up.
the Vulcans could probably last for a few minutes with their secondary eyelid, it would be uncomfortable.
Do they have a
Wiggy, what's your-
nictitating eyelid?
What's your
They
character's
totally
name
do.
again?
Alligators do too.
Attack.
Yeah,
totally
nictating
do.
membranes.
Say it again?
Yeah.
Attack.
And now
Attack.
you are Vulcan?
Attack.
Yes,
Attack.
yes.
Okay.
You're the
He
only
was
non-Vulcan.
crying, so
as
you're
much
not
as
sure.
you could tell.
Yeah, you're grand.
There was one
being
tear.
a Vulcan.
There was just
Yeah.
a tear.
It was
Which for a Vulcan is like a sissy fit tantrum.
Right. It's just a
An outburst.
All right, so we're all suited
Okay.
up.
And that will do us for tonight.
For
on
Gaming with Scott.
Gaming with Scott.
We thank you for listening, and as always, you'll hear from us real soon. Bye.
That'll do us tonight for Star Trek Adventures. You can send us an email at feedback@gamingwithscott.com. John Garlick is at JPMGarlic. Jay Duguay is at @1_nerdy_mama. John Kennedy is at JKMyth. And me, Scott T, is at GamingWScott. This is a Southgate Media podcast. As you boldly go through your life, remember to make the galaxy a better place than it was yesterday. And as always, you'll hear from us real soon. Bye.